What factors affect life in aquatic ecosystems? Aquatic organisms are affected primarily by water's depth, temperature, flow or currents, and nutrient availability. Water depth strongly influences aquatic life because sunlight penetrates only a relatively short distance through water. The region near the surface in which photosynthesis can occur is known as the photic zone, which is 200 meters in tropical seas but just a few meters deep in rivers and swamps. At the photic zone, zooplankton, tiny free-floating animals, feed on phytoplankton, a photosynthetic algae. Usually, this is the first step in aquatic food web. After the photic zone, aphotic zones come, which are the zones in which no photosynthesis can take place because poor or no sunlight can reach. Many aquatic organisms live in or on rocks and sediments on the bottom of oceans, lakes, and streams. These organisms are called benthos, and their habitat is called the benthic zone. Algae and rooted aquatic plants can grow where water is shallow enough for the benthos to be within the photic zones. At that moment, chemosynthetic autotrophs are the only primary producers. Second factor that affects aquatic ecosystem is the temperature. Aquatic habitats are warm near the equator and cold near the poles. Also, water depth can affect temperature as deep parts are cooler than the surface parts. But currents in lakes and oceans can dramatically affect water temperature because they can carry water that is warmer or cooler than would it be typical for given latitude, depth, or distance from shore. For organisms to live, they need certain substances like oxygen, nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus. The type and availability of these dissolved substances vary within and between bodies of water, greatly affecting types of organisms that can survive there. Freshwater ecosystems. Only 3% of Earth's water is freshwater, but that small percentage provides organisms with drinking water, food, and transportation. But what are the major categories of freshwater ecosystems? Freshwater ecosystems are divided into three main categories: rivers and streams, lakes and ponds, and freshwater wetlands. Rivers and streams often originate or come from underground water sources in mountains or hills. Rivers and streams have many dissolved oxygen but little plant life. Downstream sediments build up plants and establish themselves. Animals in rivers and streams depend on plants and other animals that live along their banks for food. The food webs in lakes and ponds often are based on combination of plankton and attached algae and plants. Plankton is a general term that includes both phytoplankton and zooplankton. In lakes and ponds, water typically flow in and out circulates between the surface and the benthos during at least one season, distributing heat, oxygen, and nutrients. A wetland is an ecosystem in which water either covers the soil or is present at or near the surface of at least part of the year. Wetlands are often nutrient-rich and highly productive, and they serve as breeding grounds for many organisms. Freshwater wetlands have important environmental benefits. They purify water by filtering pollutants and prevent flooding by absorbing large amounts of water and slowly releasing it.